If you own a personal brand or a physical products brand, I want to give you some information right now, which is that brands are dead. It's dead. The branding, the whole branding movement, it's already dead. And you have known that. The reason you know that is because your whole social media feed is filled with videos of people telling you to build a personal brand. And your mom probably has a personal brand. Everyone has a brand product, but there's nothing unique about them. There's nothing special about them. And most importantly, there's no result that people are wowing about. It's just another person that's selling another thing that's like the other thing. It just so happens that this one comes in a camo print. Okay? Brand is a commodity and branding is dead. If you look at what's now coming, it is not branding. You're starting to see this whole brandingless type thing on YouTube. And so if you're serious about helping people and serving people, don't build a brand. If you're serious about coming out with a product that's revolutionary, that's awesome, it might be similar to other products, but it's so much better, don't call yourself a brand. In fact, before you call yourself anything, actually serve people and get results. But see, that's where most people stop. They stop at this point of getting results for people because they don't want to put in the extra work of making sure that other people get that result. Because what really is going to happen now is there's going to be a huge separation where 1% of the businesses are going to be what I call movements. And that's what I want you to build. And the other 99% are going to be called brands. You don't want to be another thing that people call you by name, but could care less about your products, have no affections for your product or for you or for the result that you're getting for people because they don't care about you, because you're not that special, because you're like everybody else. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, how do I make myself unique? I've thought that same thing. Listen, I am a coach. Everyone and their mom is a coach right now. And so what does everyone say? Niche down. What makes you unique? Why should people listen to you? What's your positioning? What's your authority? All of those things are great. But at the end of the day, it comes from conviction. And conviction comes from doing activity that gets results for others. And personal brands and this new branding movement that's happening is all about the person, talking about how awesome they are. It has nothing to do with the transformation of other people using you or using your product. So that's key number one. If you want to build a movement, number one, create transformations for other people. At the end of the day, you're just a guide. That is all you are. And if you're saying, man, I don't care about transformations of other people, then build a brand. Build an everyday business, call yourself X, Y, and Z, and have fun struggling with the plateau. You might get to 6, maybe even 7 figures, but then it plateaus. Why? Because there's a million other people doing what you do. And now you've got to keep up with the strategies and the hacks and lowering your prices and coming up with new offers and those new offers and how are they different and how can you guarantee? And now you're dealing with sales objectives, all these things that no one wants to deal with. And the reason they don't want to deal with it is because it doesn't feel authentic. And the reason it doesn't feel authentic is because you know you're selling something that isn't that great. And can you build a business that way? 1,000%. But are you going to build a business that hires a ton of people, that provides a ton of amazing results that you're actually proud of? No, because you'll have a business. Great. You'll be a plumbing business that makes, I don't know, $100K a month, and you get to keep $20K a month of that, and then you're paying taxes on that. Have fun. And all you get is to service people's complaints. Or you could build something that people rave about, because real movements, they don't build followers. They build fanatics. That's what you want. Think of this company, Yeti. They come out with a cooler and all of a sudden everyone has it. The people who just want to make money say, how do I copy that? And they come out with copies and then they go, oh, that's really cool. How did they grow? And they look at all the strategies that these people did and go, that's the strategy. That's the Yeti strategy and we're going to copy it. And guess what? Meanwhile, Yeti's just going, how do we get more hunters, fishermen, outdoorsmen, sportsmen, the best cooler in the world? How do we get their food to stay fresher longer? How do we get their drinks to stay colder longer? How do we help this outdoorsman? How do we serve them? How do we make sure they get to their end result, which is something they're proud of, the game that they shot, the fish that they caught? How do we get the thing that they're proud of back home so they can enjoy it and it not spoil? That is a movement. And then all of a sudden, everyone has all of their things. When Yeti first came out, people would collect their cups. all the different colors, all the different things. Do you think they planned that? Probably not. They just came out with something amazing that got amazing results. Think about Starbucks. If you've never read the book of the Starbucks founder, you should. Do you think he risked all of his money, all of his time, all of his energy? Do you think he traveled to third world countries so he could try out their amazing restrooms? No, he traveled there to find the best coffee, to learn the best roasting methods, and to bring that in a realistic way to the everyday consumer and create a space for them that he called third place, meaning it's not work, it's not home, but it's this third place where work gets done, relationships are built, and conversations are had. Who thinks like that? How many other coffee shop owners are that intentional and want to serve on that level and are that psychotic? Because that's the second thing. If you want to build a movement, you gotta have a psychotic philosophy. Psychotic. You've gotta be willing to say the thing. And whatever that thing is, you've gotta say it. I said it at the beginning. Branding is dead. It is dead. Now, you might not believe it, and it might offend you. And to the people that it offends, I'm trying to offend you. I don't want you around. If you want to preach brand like every other YouTuber out there, meanwhile knowing that that's not actually the thing, then go for it. I'm not going to do that. I've been around enough brands to know that time is gone. Everyone has seen everything a million times. And what people really want, and by the way, they've always wanted this, they want someone who's actually going to help them transform who they are, okay? Because brands have followers, movements have fanatics. And the owners of movements are not thinking about themselves, they're thinking about transformation. Because they know that they can get transformation because they believe so heavily in their psychotic philosophy, okay? The psychotic philosophy is the thing that they're willing to believe even when no one else wants to, and they're gonna go out and share it with the world. They are evangelists. Now, other people have said brand evangelists, and that's fine. I'm not against the word brand. I'm just telling you it's dead. It's gone. And so if you want to build something real, let me ask you a question. How many people do you actually care about seeing their lives transform? If that's you, you're about to live a life so fulfilled, so filled with purpose, so filled with excitement and joy. And this is not saying you're not going to encounter pain. That's life. But you're not worried so much about the money you're going to make as you are about the transformation that's going to happen in other people. You should care more about that if you want to build a movement. But do you know what brand builders think about? What is my ROAS on this ad? What's my offer? What objections? Let me check Reddit to do some background research on my ideal customer, my avatar. You know what? Who cares? The psychotic philosophy, the psychotic business owner, the psychotic founder knows all of this stuff. He doesn't know it because he did a bunch of research. He knows it because he lived with the people, because he lived a life like a missionary. I was raised in the church and I was a pastor forever, so I've seen a lot of missionaries. Missionaries believe so deeply in the gospel, they will move to some of the hardest areas in the world to bring the gospel. And that's the exact same kind of mindset that you need to have if you want to build a movement. You have to have a missionary mindset. Do you? Are you willing to do anything for your person? Are you willing to tell your person the thing? Maybe the thing that's hard to hear, but you know it'll resonate with them. And you're not worried about how do I build the biggest audience in all of the world. And I'm guilty of that too. I'm on YouTube because I want an audience. But I know if I don't get you guys the result, then it doesn't even matter. So that's why I'm willing to say the thing. Brand is dead. It's dead. It's so dead. Now, there are movements disguised as brands because everyone knows the word brand. Yeti, Nike, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, Lululemon, Aloe. Those are all movements. They have fanatics. They don't have followers. They have fanatics. People willing to go as far as they need to pay as much as they need to get what they want because they believe. That is what a movement does. It doesn't create customers. It doesn't create followers. It creates believers. Look, that's what you want to do. And if you're listening to this and you're going, I want all of that. Do you? Because you might want the results that come from that, but you don't actually want the results for the other person. You don't care how that other person feels, what that other person thinks, how much weight that person loses, how much better their relationship is with their spouse, how they go from single to married, how much more money they made a month from now, 2 months from now, how much more time they're actually saving and why they're saving that time, how much more joy they have in their life, how many more relationships they have. Did they go from lonely to filled with relationships? Because you know what's crazy is that movements don't create community. Movements create family. Is it a coincidence that the church, people that go to church, call themselves brother and sister? It's because they're so convicted and believe so deeply in the cause that they look at the other people that are around them and say, you're with me. You're more than just someone that likes what I like. We're believers. And if we're believers, we're brothers. We're family here. Trust me. If you've ever gone to any professional game, you have seen the fans in there that are just like, hey, I came for a game. This is awesome. And then you see the ones that are like, hey, I'm a season ticket holder. And then you see the other people, the fanatics, the ones that are wearing the jerseys and the hats and the bandana and the thing, and they're waiting to get signatures, and some of the players know them by name. They believe that this team every year is gonna win the championship and they want to be there. The Clippers fans from the 90s who showed up at an empty stadium cheering them on. Those are fanatics, and the Clippers created them. At some point, they created these believers. When you talk about Apple and Steve Jobs and what he did, he doesn't have followers. Yes, I know he's dead, but he doesn't have followers, does he? Fanatics. They don't just believe that basketball's awesome. They don't just believe that this team is amazing. What does he have? He has believers. What else does he have? He has fanatics. People like me who almost everything they have Apple. And before they see if it has anywhere else, I will buy an Apple product that is inferior to what everyone else is saying because I trust Apple so deeply. I'm a fanatic. I'm a believer. And I will pay a premium. Listen, if that's you and you're like, I am serious about building a movement. I'm tired of all this brand stuff. I'm tired of thinking about all these things that don't matter. I just want to help people. I want you to put in the comments or put in the chat or wherever, just put movement. I'm going to send you my movement guide, how to build an actual movement. This is coming from all my time working with 7-figure creator communities that were big with thousands of people, working with big brands, listening to at masterminds to other big brands, working at a church for a long, long time, being a pastor at a church, all of that stuff, one-on-one coaching with 7-figure brand owners who had exits, all of that stuff. I take all of that together and I think about you specifically, and we actually figure it out. But I have a whole booklet. It's a document on how to build a movement if you're serious about creating transformation. Because to be honest, I don't want to give this to just anybody. There are a lot of people that are going to go, great, I know how to sell that. Tell me how to sell. So how do I get more people into my thing? No, I'm looking for people that have already gotten to a certain extent of success, 6-7 figures, that are going, I'm over this. I want to get back to what made me start this. I want to get back to the mission. If that's you, put movement. I'm ready to help you. I want to help you, and I'm going to come out with a course with all this stuff. Anyways, let's go.